Today, I wanted to have a chat with you about the unconscious mind, hello Frankie, and the higher conscious mind. What the difference is, how you identify the differences, and how you trust both, because both are very, very important to trust. Now, we know we've got the conscious mind. Our conscious mind is the analytical thinking mind. According to various studies, it only takes up about 10% of the mind. Oftentimes we listen to this because it's the loudest. It communicates things from our unconscious mind, our fears, our apprehensions, our desires, our goals. Our unconscious mind, also known as subconscious mind, but I purposefully use the word unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is what's below the scenes. It's below the surface aspect. We may have heard of the iceberg analogy, where what you can see at the top of the water is the conscious thinking analytical mind. Below the surface is all of our unconscious patterning. Hello, Tim. And when we have that ability to tap into that unconscious mind, this is where our values, our beliefs, our values, I said that, our identity is. This is where that aspect of our culture, our history, all of that is. Your unconscious mind is also what runs your body. You don't have to blink or think about blinking or breathing or digesting your food. You don't have to think about any of that stuff. You don't have to think about if you're a compulsive liar. You don't have to think about lying or manipulating. It just happens. If you're trusting, you don't have to think about trusting or loving. You just do. It's in that DNA. It's in that nature of who you are. And when we have that ability to identify those unconscious programs, we can start to do something about them. We can potentially change those beliefs and habits and cultures and all of that other stuff. Where do these things come from? Your unconscious mind, besides the biological aspects, we're born with those biological aspects of blinking and breathing and digesting our food and not having to think about a thing. But the rest of it, our values, our beliefs, our behaviors, our habits, they're generated through learning, through observing, through modeling. But this is the basis of those things. Now, we've got our higher conscious mind. Our higher conscious mind is that part of our mind that's outside of our body. So 90% of the mind is the unconscious mind. You don't have to think about any of that stuff. The higher conscious mind, this is the one that taps into that universal collective consciousness. It's from physics, quantum. From a quantum physics, it's the aspect of possibilities, the endless possibilities that connect us to everyone and everything, even our kitty cats. When we have the understanding of the higher conscious mind, this is what taps us into the godliness, the goodliness, the purpose of why we're here. Not just here watching this video, but here, and in collection with everyone else. This is that part of us that knows our purpose, knows our divine, knows the good in all, and it looks for the good in all. Our higher conscious mind communicates to us through prayer, through meditation, through dreams, through those aha moments when we're sleeping, through that knowingness when we're in the shower or relaxing or just chilling out. This is that part of your mind that truly just connects and is. Now, a lot of people in the world need more of that scientific, if I can see it, hear it, taste it, touch it, smell it, then it's real. Well, that's using a lot of that conscious mind. Nothing wrong with that necessarily, but there's so much in life that we cannot see. We feel. You can feel the energy in a room when somebody's had an argument. You can feel the energy in a situation or a room when there's heightened emotions. I remember quite a few years ago now, we went to, my mom and I went to Spain. And we were in Barcelona and we were touring the old town. Fascinating tour. And there was this square that we went into, and I leaned over to her and I said, people have died here. There was just that energy of it. And then as our tour guide went on to explain that square, thousands of years ago, that was where they did the executions. But that energy hung there. That's that higher conscious mind, that knowingness. That's that part of my mind that we're tapping into, that I'm tapping into. And I can trust that part too, because it's a part of me. It will tell me to stay. It will tell me to go. It won't tell me to buy or sell. I wish that were the case. There's nothing in there that, from crypto to regular currency, there's nothing that's going to tell you buy or sell and get it right, because the future hasn't happened yet. But I can trust it when I hear that intuitive calling. I can trust it when I tap into a purpose. I can trust it when I know that I'm loved and not alone. I can trust it when I know that there's a collective consciousness, that all things are and exist at the same time, and there is just goodness. Even when I get hurt, or I get wronged, or I get put out by someone, or let down by someone, I know even that when that happens, there's a positive intention for me somewhere. And I know there's a positive intention from whoever it is that hurt me or let me down. I may never understand it, but I know that it's there. The higher conscious mind, this is the part of my mind that I'm fascinated with, because so much, it's probably not new by any means, but a lot of research has been coming out recently in the past decade or so that has more alignment with the higher conscious and conscious understandings in life than the unconscious conscious, which is really, really cool. Again, the conscious mind is just that thinking, analytical, reasoning mind. And it doesn't really do anything other than think and judge and reason. It's following that intuition. It's listening to your unconscious minds plural, because we have those various minds inside of us. Our heart, our gut. These are brains too, but we can talk about that in another moment. But the mind of our body is an important thing. It tells us when to slow down. It tells us when to speed up. It tells us everything. And when we can align that higher consciousness in our unconscious mind, that automatically aligns us to our conscious thinking, so we're on that straight path. But having that alignment with that higher consciousness, again, call that God, spirit, universe, collective consciousness, higher self, whatever it is. I personally don't believe that there's a man up there on a cloud looking down. I believe that God, good, is everywhere, everything, is genderless, is judgeless, is loving and kind, because it is you, it is me, it is all of these things. And that's that higher consciousness. We say oftentimes trust your unconscious mind. We also say trust your higher conscious mind, because both of them, they only know good for you. They only know solid truthfulness for you. The one that has the tainted view based on your history, your upbringing, is your unconscious mind. And it might be a little bit tainted because you might have beliefs like, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not enough, or anything else like that. And that's not true. Because if we tap into that higher consciousness, we know that we are perfect, how we are, right here, right now, perfect. And we can start to chip away at what doesn't fit for us, those unconscious beliefs. Because I think that if before our unconscious beliefs were created, there was just good, there was just wholeness, there was just peace. And so I think our unconscious and conscious mind were just one at a point in time, except for the bodily functions. And then as we grow and we create filters, they separate. And I wonder what it would be like to come back into the wholeness, the gracefulness of wholeness, of letting that higher consciousness be and serve as a guide for us, instead of letting the internal dialogue get in the way, or those beliefs that don't uphold us, where they hold us back a little bit. And I know we all have those, but it's just a matter of connecting to what is the real truth. And the real truth comes from that higher consciousness, to be the best that we can be, to live a whole life. And a really cool thing is that you are in charge of your mind, therefore you're in charge of your life. And if you find any of those unconscious patterns of anxiety or depression, fears, phobias, learned helplessness, self-sabotage, not loving yourself, not feeling good enough or being good enough, tap into that higher self. Because I promise you, when you tap into that, you will be flooded with that aspect of good, and you will know that those patterns and beliefs are just that. Patterns, beliefs, and not necessarily true. Because you, my friend, are beautiful and perfect just the way you are. I'll see you next time on my next Monday message.